Alright lads, this is Fenner, a GM Zerg hailing from Australian Pro Team, Frenetic Array. I just want to drop my opinion on the current ZVP metagame and how fucking excited I am for the future of SC2 in general and in particular ZVP. So at the minute there is a lot of negativity surrounding game design, balance and crap like that, mostly around Zerg, the Infestor, ZVP and force fields. I'm just going to talk about how the ZVP metagame has evolved since release, or as far as I can remember, how it's gone myself. So first of all, we had really early ZVP on terrible maps designed by Blizzard. We had close positions where you can't react at all. We had 2 gates, stupid things like that. But jumping past that, we had tournament maps with decent positions and fairly okay maps. The metagame around this time was gateway expands and the odd forge expand, taking straight up into a Colossus, Stalker, Sentry, and sometimes a Void Ray Deathball. Zerg were whining like crazy around this time. Zerg were going Roach, Hydra, Corruptor. Think about that. We were going Roach, Hydra, Corruptor, up 2 base nonetheless. That is just stupid. If we looked at a game, it would just look ridiculous. And we also droned a really slow 3 base. Let's be honest, a Zerg around this time couldn't do anything against the Protoss Deathball with that composition, especially with the terrible 2 base openers that slowly droned a 3rd base. There was a lot, it was just hopeless, and a lot of Idra rage was had around this time. Then we move on to the next evolution of the metagame. This is where Idra is still placing highly in tournaments. 2 base Infestor with a timing attack became incredibly popular. It allowed people to put on a lot of damage onto the greedy Protoss builds that were going around off like double robo off 2 base and crap like that gave Zerg a fighting chance, getting them wins every now and again. This didn't last too long because then Protoss 2 base all-ins became popular. 2 base builds like +2 blink was smashing everyone, and various other like 7 gates, 8 gates and builds like that. Zerg was screwed again. And if they managed to hold off the all-in, then they would go to Roach Hydra Corruptor with maybe an Infestor or 2, but end up getting smashed by a late-game Protoss Deathball still. Zergs whined for patches. Blizz, fix the game please, it's fucking broken. No! The next evolution is the main turning point of ZVP and began to shape it to what it is today. Stefano. Stefano came up with the 200 3-hatch Roach Max, and for a couple of months, he fucking obliterated any Protoss in his path. He absolutely took a massive dump all over their faces. Protoss players could no longer win with their 2 base all-ins, and they found it insanely hard to take a 3 base because they would just get overrun with roaches. They felt hopeless. Once again, Protoss were calling out for a patch, and the general community was annoyed at game design. Only roaches! This is a stupid and boring matchup! Only roach every day! This evolution lasted a long time. For a couple of months, Stefano wrecked Protoss left, right and center, but eventually, Protoss players figured out that, Immortals and Sentries, they're pretty good. We can take a 3rd base with these units. We just need good force fields. Psh, 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 psh. So Protoss started taking 3rd bases, and for a very short-lived time, they managed to get wins, because Zerg would just try and kill them with the Roach Max, since they could just hold it and get wins. It didn't last too long because the obvious next step when you can't win the 3 bases as Zerg is to get a 4th base and to get Hive. Get Brood Infestor. And here we are for the last couple of months. Brood Infestor has dominated ZVP. Protoss tried the obvious response. Let's get a 4th base, get more tech units, get a mothership, but all to no avail. Brood Infestor was just unbeatable. Unbeatable like all of the other evolutions of the metagame, right? The whine about balance and game design was insatiable. Millions of Reddit threads. Patch, patch, patch. Blizzard, please do something. This game fucking sucks. I'm not gonna buy Heart the Swarm if you don't remove the Infestor. And here we are today, the next step in the metagame, and why I'm so excited for the future of this matchup and SC2. Sniper just got absolutely steamrolled by Parting. Steamrolled! It was 3-0. And Parting did an Immortal Sentry all-in every single game. And this is absolutely amazing. Bear with me, Zerg friends. It's the next evolution in the metagame. It took months and months for Protoss to finally figure out a way to play against the current Zerg style, but it's finally here. Parting has perfected a build that it's been known for months. What does it mean? It's time for Zerg players to innovate. Whether Zerg players have to completely change their opener, like go to 2-base openings, or, stick with 3-base and make a couple of small adjustments. It's amazing because now Protoss are forcing Zerg down a certain or different route which is not known yet because we haven't figured it out. The metagame is still evolving. And I imagine Zerg players are going to whine like crazy. They're going to try and hold it with 3-base Roachling. They're going to ask for patches. They're going to say the game is terribly designed. But no! It's time as a Zerg player to feel completely hopeless. To get dumped on multiple times by multiple Protoss by the same build. They're going to get their balls out and they're going to rub them on our faces. And it's going to be glorious. Because eventually, this is going to get figured out. We have no idea how long it will take, and we have no idea where the metagame will take us. If I can say one thing to the Zerg players out there, so that we can get to the next evolution of the metagame again, and dominate the Protoss, don't whine about game design. Don't whine about balance. Just innovate. Try anything and everything. Eventually, we will dominate. Stay strong, stay positive, and innovate.